All right, so we've written this code and we've run it to make sure that our ultrasonic sensor is working. Just to recap this code, when we start running this program, then it's going to immediately hold everything up until something is detected nearby the robot, at which point it will play a sound effect. We're going to play around with this code a little bit. Let's leave a forever loop. And instead, let's say, pause until an object is near. But what do we want it to do in order to detect the something being near it? It'd be nice if we could have it move until something is near it, and then it would stop and maybe even turn and do the same thing again. So pause until ultrasonic for object near is a good start. Before that, we want to turn on its motors. So let's do steer motors. And we'll put this before the other block. So it's going to say, turn on both motors B and C with a turn ratio of 0. So that's just moving straight at 50%. And again, if I don't click this plus here, then it's just going to turn them on forever. So they will just turn on, and then we'll go on to the next block to run the next part of the code. And that's actually a good thing. That's what I want, because this will make it so that it turns on those motors and then immediately stops, not the motors, but stops the rest of the program from running until it detects something near it. So the motors will be on. It will just be moving until something is close to it. And then let's just turn the motors off. Okay, so if we look at our little preview here, nothing is near it. So it started its forever loop. It turns on its motors. Both motors are running at the same speed. And it's waiting right now until something is close by. So if I take this little red slider and drag it so that the numbers get smaller, at some point I should see those wheels stop. Oh, you know what I think it is? They're not stopping because I think our ultrasonic sensor is then just like resetting it. So let's try this on just an on-start loop instead of a forever loop. Let's get rid of that forever loop. And let's see how this goes. So wheels are running, something goes close, and then those wheels stop. Cool. So now we have this on-start loop. What was happening before, I think, is this forever loop was making it so it would stop all motors and then immediately turn them back on again. And then because it's only detecting when objects are near, it would stop them, fine, but then it would turn them right back on again. So we would need something different, or we'd need a different type of code. But with this on-start loop, it's going to work a lot better. So we've got it working so that our robot will stop when it gets close to something. Your next step would be, can you figure out a way to get them to turn back on? Or instead of stopping the motors, could you make it so that the robot turns, maybe backs up a little bit, turns, and then does this whole thing over again, maybe with a repeat loop? So see if you can figure out how to get that to work. Give your code a new name just for this new program. We're just going to say Ultrasonic Motors for this file name. Download your code and see if this at least works, and then see if you can figure out how to get it to turn and really navigate a room.